Hello everyone, this is Jackie Williams, and in this video I want to share with you some tips about how to prepare, store, and use your Stampin' Up! Ink pads. So before we get started, let's take a look at what's on offer. So currently there are 40 core colors of ink. So there's the Brights collection, so it's these 10 colors, the Neutrals, the Regals, and the Subtles. All of these can be purchased either as a full color collection, so you get all 10 at a discounted price, or you can just purchase each ink pad individually as you would like. Now we also have the in color collection, so that's another 10 ink pads. So that's 50 all up, and there are 5 released each year, and then they stay current for 2 years. So every year, the 5 older ones get discontinued, and then we have 5 brand new ones. So this is March 2024 when I'm filming. So these 5 colors, Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis, will be discontinued as of the end of April, and then we will have 5 brand new colors. Now we do also have a basic black ink pad. However, that is a Memento ink pad and not one manufactured by Stampin' Up!, but of course we use it all the time. Now also coming May 2024, we're introducing a 51st ink color, and this one is called Basic Beige. So I look forward to having a play with that one. And then these are the 5 new colors coming, and I'm going to do a separate video showcasing these. So we have Shy Shamrock, Pretty in Pink, which some of you will recognize as a color we've had before. We have Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and Petunia Pop. Which one is your favorite? Right now, I'm going to say Petunia Pop is my favorite, but I have found without fail every year, as I begin using them, you know, there's another one that I end up using all the time that was possibly unexpected. Now, all of these ink pads are water-based, so you'll need to take that into account when you're doing various techniques. And now I would like to show you how to prepare your ink pad. So it comes like this, and on the back, you have got a sheet of stickers. Before I peel the whole thing off, I like to select the language that I use, and that's English. And I'm just going to, actually maybe it is helpful to pull that off. Anyway, I'm just going to peel that off. And then you decide if you want to have it on this end or that end. I like to have it on this end, but if you don't mind it being in another language, you could certainly just put the color on both ends. I'm actually going to go ahead and just peel this whole backing off. And then if you would like, there is one sticker that is just the solid color, and you can open up your ink pad and you can go ahead and lay that into this little well here. And then use your take your pick tool to just flatten that down. That way when it's open, sometimes when they're open, a lot of our ink pads all just look dark. They can't really tell what color they are. That way you can see what color it is. And then, like I said, you could use these other languages if you want to have the sticker on the other end as well. Or you can just peel those off and toss them. And then this white piece, this white sticker backing also needs to come off. And I find if you do that fairly soon after purchasing it, it comes off pretty easily. If you wait a few years, not so easily. Then that is my ink pad ready to use. Now for storing your ink pad, you do want to store it away from the sun. We also have the ink pad and marker storage on page 124 currently, and this is what they look like. I don't actually own them. Personally, I have my ink pads in drawers away from the sun, but this is quite nice, and then you can see that you have the markers that match, and a good way to keep inventory and keep everything organized. And if you do use this system, just make sure that it is out of the sun. You also want to store them this way up rather than this way. The way the lids are designed, you can see that the ink pad, when stored this way, is actually upside down, and that keeps all the ink right on the surface of the pad, ready for stamping. You can also stack these. Now they only stack nicely once these stickers are removed. So you'll see they've got these little divots on the lid and the little outies on the bottom, and then they just fit together really nicely. So if you don't have a storage solution at the moment, you could at least stack them up in small stacks and they're not going to slip around. Now I'd like to just talk to you briefly about stamping with the classic ink pads. So before we begin, just want to talk to you about how to open. So on this end where I've put the sticker and where there's that little divot there, that's where you open it. So I like to just put my thumb there and then you just open it like a compact and then slide that in so that it's nice and flat and still while you're stamping. Then to close, where this little well is, that is designed not only to show the color, but also that's to grab, and you're just going to pull it all the way out till it won't go anymore. And then make sure that that is completely locked so that you're not getting extra air or anything on your ink pad, and it lasts as long as possible. Another way that some people like to open them is up here where the color is if you just push on that with your thumbs, then it just pops open. And then you'll open it all the way and then slide it in, and then it would close the same way. So try both of those ways and see which way you like. Okay, now for inking, these are a sponge pad. That means it's soft. So you want to just tap on the ink pad. I even like to just use the weight of the block. That's what I tell my beginner stampers. You don't need to push into the ink pad. You're not going to get any more ink other than ink probably where you don't want it, which is around on the block. So you just want ink onto the outline of your stamp. And then you're just going to stamp down and stamp back up. Nice and simple. Now the last thing I want to share with you is how to re-ink. So I have brought in Lemon Lolly. Now this is from the Subtles collection. I have found that the Subtles colors seem to need inking more often than the other colors. I'm not sure why that is, but it is a very good idea when you buy your ink pads to go ahead and just buy the ink refill with it. One, it ensures that it's likely from the same color batch. Two, it's handy to have to make your ink pads last, forever, basically, for decades and decades. But also the ink refills are quite handy for different techniques as well. So I use mine quite often. I like to open my ink pad, make sure it's opened and locked in place, and then I just squeeze the ink refill. And some of them come out quite easily, and I just run it along the ink pad. This one is a little bit tougher to get out. I don't know if it's a difference just maybe in the manufacturing. Doesn't really matter. So I just go ahead and get that all over the ink pad, and then just use the nozzle to rub it in. And if you see that it's very quickly soaking in, then you could even do a second layer. You could use a bone folder or an old credit card or something like that to rub it in as well. I do find that after you've inked, you get the best result if you let it sit for, 10 or 15 minutes anyway, just to let the ink sort of even itself out and disperse. So there you go. So it looks a little patchy right now, but that will disperse and equalize itself in time. So there you go. I hope those tips helped you prepare, use, and store your Stampin' Up! Ink pads. This is Jackie Williams. If you have any tips that I didn't cover, please feel free to share them below. If you have any questions, please also share those. And of course, share this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next video. This is Jackie Williams. Bye-bye.